So what is up, YouTube? So I wanted to do a little breakdown as to what happened in the Redbull Kumite, right? It happened last week. The tournament was great. If you missed it, I would recommend that you go watch it. But I'm here to spoil it if you didn't watch it and you don't want to watch 4 hours of a tournament. So I'm gonna give you guys the good matches, but on top of it, we're gonna talk about all the other drama and stuff that was going on behind it. So Redbull Kumite is a tournament where eight players are invited, and essentially it says just a top eight, but the way it's formatted is a little bit different, where it's kind of round robin style in the pools, and then they choose the top two get to move on. I'm not gonna explain the whole tournament, all right? And then it's like first to two, whatever. So point is, the players that were invited, and we're gonna do it in by pool. So pool A was Negan, Anakin, and Book, right? Then the next one in the second pool was Infested, JDCR, Caudal, and Super Akuma, right? So overall, pretty stacked fucking tournament, all right? And I know somebody's gonna be like, who the fuck is Infested? And that's how I was, all right? That's how I was. But I don't know. I think he won the LCQ. There was like a last chance qualifier for this tournament because Arsene was supposed to be in there somewhere. I don't know who would be the replacement besides him. Like, I don't really know who Infested is, and that's no disrespect to the player. Is he new, up and coming? I don't know. I've never seen him in tournaments before though. So I guess he won the LCQ. That's what, if I had a bet, all my money on would be, right? So Arsene made it, or he couldn't make it, I should say, because he had a visa issue. That's unfortunate, but there is one thing that I want to address, and that's all his little fanboys who keep saying Arsene would have won this tournament easily. You know, all of those. In the best way I could put it is like just the best way. In the best words of Kanye West.
I guess we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. All right. I guess we'll never know. All right. Because he wasn't there. All right. If he wasn't there, how are you gonna say, oh, he would have just bodied everybody? No, he wasn't there. All right. And we saw this in the last TWT finals, right? When he was there, everybody already had game plans for him. All right. When you're at the top, it's hard to stay at the top. All right. And what is his name? Knee beat him. Ulsan beat him. He didn't even make it out his pool. So like it happens. All right. And so I just wanted to address that real quick because I keep seeing that. Oh, if Arsene was there, it's like he wasn't there though. So why even mention it? He wasn't there. Just that simple. So onward, we're gonna talk about the more important or like the closer matches or the funny parts. So I've always said that Fakumram is a good. We're gonna talk about the Infested match versus Super Akuma. It was a really close set. That one was 2-1, and it went to the final round in the last the deciding game, and Infested threw that. He really threw that, and I'm never betting on him again. I bet in that match my channel points because I thought, or I am somebody who says that Fakumram is a bad matchup for Akuma. So Akuma does bad against Fakumram. He has a lot of tools to deal with his stuff, like his stupid shit, right? So I put a lot of money into into Infested. He ended up losing, but you know, he was up 2 rounds that first in the, what is it called? He was up 2 rounds against in the last match against Super Akuma. I think Super Akuma won the first one, he won the second one. Next one decides who's gonna win that set, right? And he wins 2 rounds. He goes up 2-0. And then I would say the third round was close. Super Akuma got it. And then Super Akuma just outplayed him that 4th round. And now we're in final round. And then there comes a point where, you know, he has a high wall splat, and I'm gonna probably put it somewhere over there, but he gets a high wall splat, and I'm gonna pause the video on that high wall splat, and I'm gonna let you guys think of what combo he's gonna do, right? And the reason why I bring this up is nerves do play a factor in offline tournaments and stuff like that, because um that's kind of what we saw here. So I go ahead, comment the combo that you would have done, all right, to optimize this and completely take the pace of the match or put him in a guessing game at the end or whatever. But essentially, this is a huge moment for you to not take advantage of. You have a wall, you can break the wall, you can sidestep left, you can try getting the other wall, and but he didn't do any of that. And that's why I say like he threw the set. Cuz if he wins that this whole pool goes differently, right? But he didn't, so I guess whatever. But it is something that you have to point out, like, hey, bro, you choked here, you know, and I'm never gonna bet my points on you again. No disrespect, but hey, it's like it happened. And the next match that we have is Knee versus Gen. All right, so we go back to the top of the pool, and we have Knee versus Gen. Gen did he picked Lydia first, and then he ended up losing, and then he switched to Fakumram, and he won one game with Fakumram, and then he ended up losing to Knee, right? Oh, oh well, it happens. It's first to two, so it happens. That's pretty much all you can say. So the next one is we need to talk about Book a little bit, and the reason why we're gonna talk about Book, and we're also gonna talk about Anakin right here, because after this I don't really talk about them, and the reason why is because Book is kind of going through a character crisis right now. If you really think about it, like he didn't play Jin. He picked Lydia. I don't know if he thinks that his Lydia is, or I don't know if he like. How does he feel about Jin? Anybody know? Because I don't. But he didn't play him until his last set, and his Jin didn't look that good. I don't know if he's been playing Jin as of late, but it overall he didn't do good in the tournament. He went 0-3 in his pool. He lost to everybody, and I'm pretty sure he's disappointed with his performance. But I think if you're a tournament player, especially if I was from Thailand, Fakumram's from Thailand, the character's easy, he's. I'd probably just pick Fakumram, honestly. And I don't see anything bad about it, and that's something that a lot of people are like flaming these pro players right now for, is that they're playing all these Tekken 7 characters, but if they're good and they're not winning tournaments, the developers will never do anything about the character, all right? And right now, as the characters stand, Fakumram's probably the best character in the game, and unless more pro players play the character, he's always going to be good. And I don't want to see that. All right. I think he's boring to watch as a character, so water break, but essentially yeah, the character needs some tuning, I feel, still, because the character, you can't sidestep him. You can't really do much against the character. So I feel like for sure, if I was Book, I don't know, I'd be looking into Fakumram, especially as a tournament player. I've even gone on to mention that if I was a tournament player, I would not play Devil Jin. I would actually be a Fakumram player as well. I'd be part of the problem. So I don't care what you guys say, but that's just how it is. Like, if the character's easy and hella good, that's a good tournament character. And to Book, a just do you, bro. Who cares about Jin and all of that? That, yeah, fuck Jin, honestly. So next thing we got is Oh, we wanted to talk about Anakin too, but Anakin, the reason I don't really want I'm not gonna talk about him for the rest is because that pool went exactly how I expected it. We got the best Korean player, the best Japanese player, and Anakin didn't get a game against them. You know, there wasn't a set that was really close for him besides the book and that book set, but book didn't do well either. So it's kind of like, okay, should I really talk about it? But I mentioned it, so that's the last time we talk about it. So the next thing is the JDCR set that he had against Super Akuma. I did not expect it to go at all this way. I actually went and used the restroom and got food. And then I came back to notice that JDCR had lost the whole set already. I was like, whoa, that was quick, bro. Like, what happened? Did he DQ? Like, did he hit the pause button? Like, what's going on? But no, JDCR got ran through by Akuma, and kind of when you look at it, it's like, who is JDC? Like, I know that JDCR doesn't like playing against these 2D characters. He mentioned that in his player interview for TWT finals, the last one that we had, and he talked about how he doesn't really like playing against the 2D characters. But if you're gonna be a pro player, at this point you have to learn how to play the characters, or deal with them to a professional level. Because and I'm not saying like he well, he played really bad against the characters and he didn't do well. He only got one round, but you know, I expected the matches to be a lot closer, but they weren't. So that's on JDCR, and I think a lot of people are using that match to say that JDCR is washed up, which is I find that hilarious. Like, dude is hella good, but I feel like in terms of how he's playing competitively, I don't think it's that 2018 or what was it, 2017 JDCR who's running through everybody. Nee couldn't get a game on him, that type of JDCR. I don't think it's that. But at the same time, you have to look at his characters as well. It's like they're not top tier, and from the looks of it, it looks like Tekken is moving towards a more, you have to learn every character if you're going to be a professional player, and then on top of it you have to be okay with or you have to be okay with playing a character that's in the top 10. All right, if you want to see competitive results. And it's unfortunate, but that's just how it is. All right. And I feel it's sad, but oh well, if you want to be competitive or you want to play competitively, you have to adjust, and or you just get left behind, and that's how it works. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is Caudal versus Okuma, because Caudal actually did really well against JDCR. She only needed one more game and she would have been in the top 4, right? Because I'm not sure how the standings would have been, but I'm pretty sure that's how it would have been, because she beat Akuma, and it was pretty much whoever beats JDCR makes it in the like, he was the gatekeeper essentially for the second spot. And if both Akuma and Cuddle had beat him, then he would have been 1 and 2 in sets, and I think it would have been irrelevant in terms of like and also the other guy would have been 1 and 2 in sets, whereas they would have been 2 and 1. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about that because a lot of people are still saying that Cuddle shouldn't have been there, which I feel is like, really, why Cuddle, That's all I'm saying. It's like, why Cuddle? Why should have Cuddle not been there? She beat Super Akuma, who was the leader in that pool. So, and he beat JDCR. So I don't get it. She was literally one game away from being in the top 4. So I can't say that. At this point, I have to feel like we weren't watching the same tournament or something, and or that I'm not trying to accuse you or anything, but like, you're just like, oh, she's a girl, she can't be good, but she's good. Like she's hella solid, you know. So I don't know. And like that's you, bro. Yeah, I don't see how you see her as a bad player when there's a reason she got invited there. You know, the next thing we have is Knee versus JDCR. That was the top part of the bracket versus and then the bottom part of the bracket was Gen versus Super Akuma. But at the top part, we got to see the most boring match of Tekken. We got to see two 50-year-olds play against each other. The old school Tekken, this old school rivalry, and it was actually, I thought it was gonna be closer than what it was. Yeah, it was a complete wash. Knee washed JDCR. He picked Geese, which usually when he plays against what's his name, JDCR, he picks Steve, but this time he picked Geese. I don't know why, but pretty much it was like a, because Nee doesn't play Geese like he just jumping around and doing like jump ins and stuff like that, because he doesn't play like that. He played Geese very conventional, like a Tekken character, and he just outplayed him every single round, every game. You know, he just played better than him, and um, it was kind of sad to see because maybe like maybe he just isn't taking the game as competitively as he used to or something. But um, I thought JDCR did really bad this tournament. I thought he did really bad, you know, and it's not the JDCR that we usually see, and especially that 2017 or 2018 JDCR. So it's just, I was like, what can you do about it, you know? And I hope JDCR takes this to heart and he goes and he starts labbing those characters, or he starts getting better, or not getting better, but like chooses to, hey, fuck it, same advice I gave Book, like I'm gonna just play Fakaram or some shit, because when he plays very aggressive characters who are good, like Dragonov, he's really scary to play against. And I feel like Fakaram falls right under that same category in terms of a character that's very aggressive and just very good, you know? So I think he's the best character in the game, but whatever. And so hey, JDCR, I'm looking at you the same way. Hey, maybe if Nee starts playing, or if everybody just starts playing Fakaram, right? And just the top 8 start to look like, because the character's still hella good. I don't care what anybody tells me. It starts to look like Evo Japan every top 8. Then they have to nerf it, you know. And same thing with Akuma. If you don't like Akuma, start playing the fucking character. Start fucking being the motherfucker who's top 8 in. Who's in top 8, and all of a sudden we got 4 Akumas in top 8. Like, they're gonna have to do something about the character. They can't have a game where, wow, that's the diversity in the roster. Come on. So the next thing is the Gen Lydia versus the Akuma. Let me backtrack a little, because in that knee JDCR, there's one round where it literally ends and both players pretty much have full health. It's just like, I'm just trying to watch some Tekken, bro. I'm not trying to watch. To me, Tekken is just press buttons, bro. I don't, you know? It's like, bro, you guys ain't pressing buttons. What is you guys doing? You guys just, nah, bro. Nah, you swing, bro. I'm gonna watch when you swing. It's like watching two counter punchers play or fight against each other in the UFC. It's like, nobody's gonna swing, huh? It's like that Yoel Romero versus Israel Adesanya fight. That's how it felt. It was so boring to watch. But the next one that we have is the Gen, who played Lydia versus Akuma. And the one way to beat Akuma is just to never let him get started. And that's literally what Gen did. He just was just going in, bro. He was just, he was just like, dude, it was crazy to see how his brain was just like, 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 this is like diarrhea. Like, nonstop offense, like just a diarrhea of offense, and from both sides, kind of pretty much. And it was a good one to watch though. And Gen ended up winning that, and we pretty much had our grand finals. Who coincidentally, I said Gen is the best player in the world right now. Before the tournament, I haven't seen him play against Arslan, so there's no way, no definitive proof that he could beat Gen. Or is there? I'm not sure. I know that have they played in the past? I think he has, and I think Arslan beat him. All right, but that was like what, a year, 2 years ago. So we'll see where they are after when they meet each other again, because they're gonna have to meet each other again later. But right now, I have Gen as the best player in the world, because he's been playing against the Korean players and all of them, and he's in the Japanese players, and he's doing really good. You know, so then we have Arslan. I haven't really seen any like big tournaments happening down there, so nothing against the Pakistan scene or anything. It's just hey, I'm a human, bro. I don't get to watch all the matches. I do watch them from time to time if somebody brings them to my stream and it's like, "Hey, bro, did you watch this?" And then I'll watch it on stream. But most of the time, it's really like not a lot of people bring me Pakistan matches. So, but and also if I'm up late, usually the Gen Japanese and Korean matches are on. So I'm down to stay up a little longer and just watch those. But overall, Knee versus Gen. Gen, he ended up beating Knee. Knee ended up picking Steve, which was surprising because he didn't do that in the first set. He actually played Deviljin, and I think he picked Deviljin and somebody else. I'm not sure, but it could be wrong. Just he picked Deviljin, but I think he brought out Steve actually. So yeah, I think he picks Steve into Falcomrom, and I feel like that's who he thinks beats Falcomrom. And it was 2-2 at some point, and Gen went up 3-2, and then I think that's when he switched to Deviljin. And I feel like Deviljin's a fucking shit matchup for like is or Falcomrom is just like too good against Deviljin, because it's really hard for you to ever get anything started against that character, because like he just, hey bro, you come in on me, and it's like, how? That's pretty much the hard part to answer, is like, how, and the hell sweep is there, but hell sweep is still hella punishable. So I don't know. I think you could do forward 1+2 to punish him at a full crouch. So, or not at a full crouch, out of like if you block a hell sweep. So I don't know how that matchup is. When I play it, I feel like I'm playing against a boss battle. Like the dude fucking tall too, and it's hard to get in on him. I do a hell sweep, I get magic forward. The dude does chunky lows, and I'm not even in his face. He doesn't. I do an electric, and I was up close, and then he does a fucking jet kick, and he hits me from across the screen. It just doesn't feel good. So when he picks him, I was like, "Damn, Knee is really throwing out here, huh?" In that match, in that one match, it didn't go well for him, and then Gen ended up winning pretty much the tournament, and 5-2. I think that's the end score for the grand finals, but something has to be said about this Falcaron character, because I don't think I'm the only guy out here in this world who's like, man, honestly, fuck Falcaron. He's on some bullshit, like I just don't like this character. I wish they got rid of him. Like, why'd they like I would have no problem, all right, if they just made a patch, right? Just make a patch, and this goes to the developers of Tekken. Just make a patch, right, where you make some characters a little harder. Like imagine if Katarina got buffed, but they made her a little bit more difficult. I don't think I'd be screaming, and I don't think a lot of the players who play her. One, I feel like she's super unpopular for that notion that she's a super easy character and everybody looks at people who play the character as like a straight bitch, you know? But I think a patch like that is very much needed for these new Tekken 7 characters because it just feels like they're too easy and too good. Especially when we look at this tournament where like Lydia and Fakram were the characters that Gen used to win the tournament. But when you also watch other tournaments, we're starting to see a lot more Fakrams and we're starting to see a lot more Lydias. But uh I just think more people need to start playing these characters and start showing look at how stupid this fucking character is. And making top eights and kind of no, I don't want to say ruining the tournament, but like just making the tournament's top eight like, oh, it's Fakram versus Fakram again, and after that we're gonna have Fakram versus Fakram, and I think slowly but surely the developers are gonna be their hands are gonna be forced, and also where the hell what's going on with the Tekken development team like. So are you guys gonna do anything or am I tripping? You know, like there hasn't been any news for you guys. I play Rainbow Six Siege, right? And I also play Tekken. Every 3 months they patch Rainbow Six Siege. And I think that's the golden time that they need to start looking at or time frame that Tekken needs to start looking at and making balance changes because this game gets stale real quick. And the reason why it gets stale real quick is because there's a lot of legacy skill in this game. So if you played the last game and then you come into this game, I just imagine how close to suicide you are because like that must be crazy. You know, like if you played Tekken Tag 2 for 5 years and then you come and you play this and there's so much legacy skill and characters aren't reworked and like they're just the same, bro. Everything's the fucking same. And you guys are still having fun. Y'all are fucking crazy. All right, I'm gonna end the fucking video. Don't forget to like. It lets me know that I should make more content like this. I probably will make one for CEO. Sorry I haven't been keeping up with the UFC vids, but hey, I don't know like how to do. I need to think of a format for those. I think making a format for tournament videos is a lot easier because uh, and hey, that's just how it happens. A tournament, and so just go off of the matches that were good and et cetera, like I just did right now. So, if you didn't watch it, go watch it. It was a good tournament, and I also wanted to know, like, drop a comment what you think about Falcon because I think that character is probably the best character in the game. Because I think he beats Akuma in that matchup, and so he's also really good at just like the rudiment, like conventional Tekken. So, all right, peace out. You guys have fun. Don't do drugs, the usual, you know.